Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast and a special celebration because this week I'm turning 30. So I haven't really thought much about what's going to be in this episode. I've got some notes, some brief ideas, but we might go on some tangents because I have a lot of feelings, I have a lot of thoughts, and I just can't believe that I'm turning 30. I mean, time does go by. And I say this to my boyfriend all the time, like, can you believe it's September? Can you believe that it's been 2 years since this or that? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, just play along, you know what I mean? But I literally still feel like 19 internally. And I don't know if that's because that's when my life kind of stopped for a while. Not stopped, but it really changed when my health issues started. So internally, I feel 19. But I did a dance class the other day and I shared it on social media because I just wanted to unleash my inner child. This is something that I've been more into the past year, and my mum sent me a video of me dancing as a kid, and I used to be that annoying friend who made everyone learn a routine after school or in the school play yard. That was me. I was the bossy boots. So she sent me that video, and I was like, I really fancy doing a dance class. So I booked one the next day, and it was so fun. If you Google SOS Dance Global, I think it's called, they have classes. So I'm in the northwest of England. They have quite a few classes around me, but I think it's pretty um like nationwide at least. But they're really fun. It's professionally choreographed dance routines, and it was an Ariana Grande one. And there was so many like head flips and things. Well, not actually, there was like two, but we had to practice it over and over again. And the next day, my neck was in so much pain, my knees were bruised, and I definitely felt my age then. And I need to do more work on my neck muscles because I've had issues in the past with my neck. A psychic once told me that I was beheaded in a past life. I was French aristocracy and I was beheaded. So on a spiritual level, that's why. On a physical level, it's because of like hypermobility and things like that. My neck has struggled. That's why I go to a chiropractor on a monthly basis. But yeah, my neck muscles do need more work because I think I just try and control movements too much just to protect the area because I can get some pain there. But it's really made me learn how weak it is because if me flipping my head back and forth a few times led to that type of pain, that is not okay. But that was my first of the side tangents. I did warn you. And I am really curious to see how I'm going to feel the day or the months after I turned 30 because I know a few people who said that they really felt a definite shift, and then other people like my boyfriend, he was like, I freaked out a little bit the few days leading up, but I just feel the same afterwards, so who knows. I tend to look into things a lot though. I might just be looking for any signs and differences. And I'm not one of those people who dread turning 30. I actually think that's quite sad because we should celebrate the fact that we have another year on this planet. And if you're someone who's currently living a way that you don't enjoy, whether that's your work or your relationship or where you live, you do have the power to change that. It's not that you're stuck necessarily in that situation forever. Sometimes it takes time for that shift to happen, but it is possible. So I think because I love my life and I have my health now, because that wasn't there for a good few years, it means that I embrace getting older because I missed out on so much for those years. And now I just want to live and experience things now that I'm able to. I have seen some changes physically. Like I said, the neck thing, my bruised knees, but I think that was normal. We were literally on a hard wooden floor doing these dance routines. But for the physical lines that are happening on the face, my smile lines around my eyes, I do want to work on it, but I'm not going to go to the extremes of something like Botox because I don't want to actively inject a neurotoxin into my face after all of those years I had of nervous system dysregulation, toxicity. I have detoxed way too much over the years to do that. So instead, I am using things like red light therapy with my LED mask from Bon Charge. That's really helping. I also have a really good skincare routine not that it's anti-aging focused, it was just general skin health. And I do use things like retinoid, I use niacinamide, I really care for my skin barrier, make sure my skin is moisturized. So the years that I struggled with acne kind of paid off as well. That's another bonus, I guess, of dealing with skin issues for a while. I really took my skincare seriously and have done for years and years now, and I actually enjoy doing my skincare. Whereas, like, some people my age might only just be looking into it. So I have started early with all of this health stuff too that I've done. Even though I wasn't focused on aging at the time, it is indirectly supporting my experience of menopause and my risk of disease-related conditions, because even though for me it was trying to regulate my periods and clear my skin and get my energy back, I learned all of these habits and ways of looking after myself now so that I have this knowledge and these tools and resources for the rest of my life. And it's going to look different what's working for me now versus what works for me in another 10 years or postpartum. But I am actually really grateful for the health struggles that I went through, because yeah, I have all of that knowledge now, and I'll know exactly what to do and what to turn to if something does pop up that I need support with. I want to experience or experiment with some natural anti-aging treatments in future. I know I keep saying anti-aging, but I don't know what the other alternate word is. It's not like I want to prevent aging. It's not realistic for me to look like I'm 22, and I actually wouldn't want to look like I did when I was 22, because I looked pretty bad then with my very swollen, inflamed, spotty face. But I just want to look the best that I can in a realistic way that doesn't compromise my health. It's like with sunscreen. In the summer, I'll wear factor 50 on my face and I'll keep topping it up throughout the day to help prevent age spots and things like wrinkles, but I will happily tan the rest of my body without sunscreen because I know the healing powers of the sun. So I'm not trying to avoid aging, but I don't know of any other term. If you want me to do a podcast episode on aging, by the way, let me know, because not right now. I don't think it's top priority at the moment, but really interested in things like microcurrent and face taping and lasers. I'm definitely up for that in future. So let me know if you want me to document when I do explore. And it's my 30th birthday on Friday this week, and I'm going to be celebrating by going out with my boyfriend. So we're going to York this weekend on Friday and Saturday. Norman, my little dog, is being babysat by my mum. She's coming to my house. It's just easier than him going to hers. He behaves a bit better as well when he's at home. So we're going to spend the day in the city. I love York. I actually went there, I think it was last year, with my friend Cassie, and we went to meet my friends Amy and Abby, who live like in the Yorkshire area. So we're going to go shopping, which Luke doesn't know about yet, and I don't think he'll enjoy that part, but it's my birthday, so we're going to do what I want to for that day, and we're probably going to have a nice meal out in the evening. I want to go somewhere that does live music or really good music. We want to dance. We're just in the mood to go dancing. So if you have recommendations for places and good music and a night out in York, let me know before Friday, ideally. And then on Saturday, we're going to a place called Poolbridge Farm that I believe is around 10 minutes away from York city centre, which is a wild swimming spot. So that's kind of what bonded me and Luke to begin with. That was his version of wellness and health. We went wild swimming on our first date, so I just thought it'd be fun, and the place looked amazing. I saw an influencer post about it, and I googled it, and it just looks so good. There's all of these different pools, like outdoor lakes that you can swim in, and they have saunas as well, these little huts outside that you can do a sauna, so I've got that booked. That'll be a lovely day. Hopefully it's nice dry weather, but we'll have fun regardless. I'll definitely take some pictures and share on Instagram. And then I'm going to a country music night with my friend that evening. So that's back at home. So we're going to drive back home afterwards. It's like a 2-hour drive. And then I'm just going to get ready and go straight out to this country music event, which is very random, but me and my friend are very into country music. We actually became friends the past few months. So she's my Pilates teacher. So I just went to her classes like twice a week for months and months and months. And then, yeah, we just started chatting a bit more, and we're both into a lot of the same things. We realized we're both obsessed with country music and Chris Stapleton and Riley Green. So we are going to this. It'll probably be packed with 70-year-old people, but we shall have a good time regardless. And I want to just reflect. I'm using this episode as like my journal, my diary entry. So I know you didn't ask for that, but that's what you're getting in today's episode. I just honestly feel really happy and grateful for my life at the moment. So it's been 10 years since I started studying nutrition at the College of Naturopathic Medicine. That was 2014. I studied there till 2017, and then I set up my business. So it's been 7 years of running Viva Natural Health and coaching clients. I love my house and where I live. I've been in this house for over a year now. Just really happy with me and Luke about our future. And he's actually going to be finishing his health coach certification this month and doing his final exam in a few weeks. So we're all wishing him the best of luck. I'm just excited to see him start his business and career in this health field, because he knows how amazing it is, and he's seen benefits with his own health from some of the things that he's implemented, and he just wants to spread the word too, like what happened with me. I am obsessed with Norman, my dog. Obviously, he is the light of my life. I've got my event coming up in a few weeks on Saturday the 5th of October in Manchester. So if you want to join and come and see us live, come and see me and Norman and Luke and Katie, my Pilates teacher I just mentioned, and you want to meet a group of like-minded individuals. I have so many, like, boxes just keep showing up at the house. It's getting a bit out of hand now, but everything's in the garage. Just free goodies, healthy food and snacks throughout the day. We have amazing practitioner Jasmine coming doing a somatic breath and body session. It's just going to be the best day ever, and that's my first ever live in-person workshop. So final few tickets I think are still available at the time of recording, but just send me a message on Instagram at Viva Natural Health, or an email, enquiries with an E at vivanaturalhealth.co.uk to double check. I just want to take a quick pause to ask you a really important question. Where do you want your health to be in 6 months' time? More energized, feeling comfortable in your skin and body again, excited for life because you're finally starting to see improvements with your health, or frustrated and depressed because you're still struggling with symptoms, which are taking over your life and stopping you from living life to the full. If you want the first option, you're going to have to do something different. After all, the definition of insanity is doing the same things over again and expecting a different result. If you're DIYing your health, meaning trying to heal yourself through researching, trial and error, wasting a lot of money and time in the process, then you could be sabotaging your results. Would you try and fix your car if it broke and you didn't know what was wrong with it? No. So why are you trying to do it all alone when it comes to the most important thing that we have in our life, our health? Trust me, actually asking for help and investing in yourself saves you time, money, and a lot of stress in the long run. I know you're probably not getting any answers or support from your doctor. I've been there too. That's why I created my 6-month signature hormone reset package. This one-to-one coaching package offers the highest level of support and transformation, as we'd be closely working together to identify and address the underlying root causes of your health issues. Even if you're already eating healthy and taking supplements, there's so much more to healing, so don't feel like you've tried it all. Let me help you figure out what's causing your stubborn symptoms and support your body in healing naturally, which, in case no one has ever told you, is completely possible. Check out my website, which is linked in the episode show notes for more information, and the links to apply or book an enrollment call are there if you want to chat further. If you've been looking for a sign, this is it. Yeah, I'm just really lit up by life at the moment, and I have kind of dragged my birthday celebrations out across the entire month. I feel like I'm a royal or something. I did a little family get together, and then yeah, going out this weekend and seeing friends and doing little bits across the month. And I don't feel bad about that, because there were so many years that I couldn't or didn't really want to celebrate my birthday. In my early 20s, from age 20 to 25, maybe 26, I really didn't enjoy birthdays. I didn't do anything. I just felt horrendous because my skin was bad, my hair was falling out, I had no energy, I couldn't tolerate most foods. Going out to a restaurant or going on a trip would actually just cause more stress and chaos because it wasn't in my routine and I just felt so uncomfortable and self-conscious. So if this is currently you, I can totally relate. And I just want to remind you though that time is going to pass you by regardless. Luckily, my health issues didn't last for decades because I started to look at these deep root causes and really was desperate to fix things. But it was still a huge chunk of my life. I don't regret the timings and everything that happened because it really did work out for the best in the right way, but I still was able to move my life forward in some ways, but not as much as I could have done, really. I was studying nutrition, I was setting up my business, I was learning everything that I needed to know about holistic healing, but day to day, I was not enjoying myself. I wasn't living in the present moment. I wasn't grateful for what I had, and I was wishing time away. I thought I'll be happy when XYZ happens. I'm only going to do this one thing when my skin clears up or I lose weight, but you can't control exactly when that moment's going to be. You can influence it with your actions and the supplements that you're taking and the changes that you're making in your life. So you do need to be present though in the current moment and find things to be grateful for. You still need to live your life. And if you don't feel like you have perfect health, that doesn't matter. You can still do things to make you happy and you can try new things. It might not look exactly like you want it to, and that could still be a future goal, but you can still take steps towards it. And the ironic thing is that doing this and pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone and being grateful and being present in the moment, even if you're not exactly where you want to be, this actually speeds up the healing process because you're less focused on your health and yourself. You're not acting like someone who has chronic illness. You're not playing into that belief. You're not giving that belief and that kind of lie that you're never going to get better. You're not giving that any energy and focus. And you're proving to yourself that you'll survive if you go out for an afternoon with your friends on the weekend or you eat out at a restaurant and you survive. That's like, okay, I've proven myself. Maybe it wasn't the most relaxing, but next time it will be because I'll know that I survived. And actually seeing my friend for that couple of hours or visiting this new place and going to the seaside or a new park, it actually brought something to my life. So I wish I did more in my struggles with chronic illness. And if you're currently in it, I just want you to remember that you're going to get better, you're going to heal. And sometimes you don't realize that you actually are healing or have healed until you're there. And it's just like, oh, I'm here now. And you forget to enjoy the ride, enjoy the process. Even if you're not struggling with your health, maybe it's something in your business. You have this end goal and you're set on that and it will happen. But the beauty and the journey is actually the most important thing. It's the most fulfilling thing. And it's actually who you're becoming in the process that is what you should be focusing on, not the end result. But that was my my motivational TED talk for the day. But honestly, it's so important. Please don't skim over that part. Listen back if you have to. I have been doing more things that I love over the past few years, listening to my intuition, even with things like recently on Instagram, I saw these competitions show up, and with a lot of them, I do skip by because I'm like, there's 20 steps here. I just don't have time. I can't be bothered, in all honesty. But there were two recently. I just had this feeling and this thought, enter them. And I did. And I knew that I was going to win them. It was so crazy. So I actually won access to a spiritual coaching certification starting next year and a big homeopathy giveaway that I won, a remedy kit, a book, an online course. I did, because Things Coming 3 put the lottery on, and bought a scratch card too, but I didn't win those, sadly. But I'm gonna keep going, because I have this inner trust now. I have my intuition back online. Working on my physical health definitely helped with that, but then I've done so much more personal development work, and my intuition has strengthened a lot. And at times I can feel very powerful. And even with some of my dreams, like I've had premonitions and things happen, and it can be quite scary at times, but I can also see the all of the amazing things that can happen with how tapped in I am to these gifts. I have really connected back to my true self, my core desires, and my authenticity. I struggled for years to embrace that, like embrace who I really was or what I wanted, and the fact that I was different to what people like typically spoke about or was interested in. I didn't really want to go out drinking or partying. When I was younger, I didn't want to go to university. When I was at high school, I didn't really want to date anyone, but that was the thing to do. So I always felt a bit weird about that. I struggled with social anxiety, even up until a few years ago, and self-consciousness because of the way that I looked with my skin and weight and everything. But working on my physical health and doing the deeper inner work, things like subconscious reprogramming, all of which I now guide my one-to-one clients through, has meant that I can truly show up as my true self and be more vulnerable these days. On the retreat that I went to back in May, you might have remembered me doing a little recap episode, but I cried literally the entire time I was on that retreat in front of a group of strangers that I just met. But that's obviously what I needed at the time. I never used to cry. I shoved it down. I thought that people would think that I was weak or would judge me. But in fact, being vulnerable is actually a sign of strength. And it meant that I could connect with people on a much deeper level. And I've been working a lot on my feminine energy. I grew up with a mother who has been more in like the masculine energy role, and probably her mother, grandmother growing up. And then it just intensified throughout my health struggles and in my business, because I felt like I had to figure everything out on my own. And it did initially serve me. I got answers for why I was struggling with my symptoms. I was able to set up my business and started to get success with that. But there came a point where, with both, that me trying to control everything was actually backfiring. I needed to ask for help. I needed to outsource. On the health side, it looked like me working with practitioners, going to therapy, getting energy healing done, going on retreats, going on workshop days. And then for work, I actually hired two girls, one to help with my podcast, one to help with social media. And it's scary at first doing something different and relinquishing control, but it has made my business and my health and my life in general so much better. It's still a work in progress with the feminine energy stuff, and it can still show up at times in my business or in relationship, where I find myself offering unsolicited advice to Luke, or getting stressed with the way that he's doing the dishes or something stupid like that. But I'm just being honest here. I have found that I'm much happier when I bite my tongue and let him do his thing, because it means that I'm more of a loving, supportive partner in that dynamic rather than a nagging mum. And everything doesn't have to be my way. Younger me who was doing the dance routines would be shocked that I'm saying that, but I don't have to be in charge all the time. If you want me to share more about my journey with feminine energy and all of this in more detail, please let me know. I think it's quite common, and I discuss it quite a bit with clients. But the plan for my 30, let's get onto that. I have put in my requests and my manifestations into the universe, so the universe knows exactly what I'm wanting. But as we know, things don't always happen in the exact way that we think that they would. But we have an agreement, me and the universe, and it's either going to be what I requested or better. This is the mindset that I love, and that's what we're going for here. So two big focuses of my 30s. Number one is my motherhood era. I can definitely feel my spirit babies coming through. Not for another couple of years. So I'm not pregnant. This isn't a pregnancy announcement. I don't think for another couple of years. 32 seems like a nice age. I think my mum was 32, yeah, or 34, I think 32 when she had me. So it just feels like a nice age, but I'm really excited for that period of my life. I want to have 2 kids, and I feel like I'm going to have a boy and a girl, but maybe that's just what I know because I have an older brother. And I want to space them a few years apart so that I can recover physically, but also not too long that they aren't close in age, maybe 2 to 4 years apart. And motherhood is really my calling on this earth, along with being a naturopath, obviously. And just having a little niece in my life over the past year, so she was born in July 2023, has just made me so happy, and I'm obsessed with her. And my camera roll on my iPhone is now filled with pictures of her and Norman. Previously, I was very fearful and was getting more stressed about what it's going to look like to be a mother and having a business and just not being able to like maybe look after myself as much as I do now. But after a lot of work around the subject, I definitely feel more peaceful and trusting that I will be able to handle it. I'll be able to work it out. And I want to focus more, and I have been focusing more on what it's going to bring me, like a deeper ability to support clients who are mothers. So many life lessons and learning to be patient and not so controlling all the time. Plans definitely can go out the window when you have kids, and focusing less on what it's going to take away from me. So the lack of time, lack of sleep, I was hyper focusing on that, and it was stressing me out and putting me off having kids, honestly, because my sleep is everything. But instead I flipped it, and yeah, I just feel more excited about that. But that's after doing quite a lot of mindset work. I had a few guests on over the past 6 months, and you probably heard me, if they were parents, asking, like, how do you navigate it? Do you have any tips and tricks? But that was all helping. That was like my research. And I found some really, really nice role models and really like nice inspirational people to follow who are smashing it and doing really well. And then the second thing is that I just really want to spend my 30s decade, continuing to support all of you lovely people with your health through my business. You have probably heard me talk more about spirituality, energy, subconscious healing, and it's because it's a really big passion of mine, and I think it's crucial for true healing. And I didn't realize that right away. I thought that a healthy diet, avoiding toxins were the answer to everything, but they're sadly not. They're important, but they're not the be all and end all. And I don't know exactly what's going to come of Viva Natural Health over the next few years and into my 30s. I am going to continue. I love what I do, and it's cliche, but I can definitely see how everything works out how it's meant to be. Sometimes when you start a business, you want this big success, or you compare yourself to others who are years in to their business, and you're like, oh, I'm not doing as well as them. But within a couple of years, I wasn't personally ready for that. I wasn't ready for a lot of clients or a lot of success. I hadn't learned what I needed to learn. And we need to go through different versions and iterations of ourselves in our business. We need to learn lessons and just keep trusting the process. In the first few years, I created courses that no one would sign up to. I had times where I doubted myself and thought it's easier to just go and work for someone else and have a 9 to 5 job. I've had challenging clients and customers who have attacked my character sometimes, and that did affect me because I honestly care so much about the people that I work with. I have learned, though, with the help of therapy and trainings about like the understandings of the brain that I have, about how everyone has their own individual filters and lenses in which they see the world, and people can just project their stuff onto us. We can have challenges that happen, that's inevitable, but if you know at your core that you're a good person with good intentions and you have a dream or goal that you want to achieve, you can't let roadblocks and things like that get in the way. So in general, I am just so proud of myself. I don't celebrate myself enough, and I want you to celebrate yourself in this moment for something that you haven't. And at times I can struggle to enjoy the moment and where I'm at, because I just love what I do. I'm so excited about creating things and planning for the future, but I need to maybe do an episode like this a bit more frequently and just I don't even need to air it. It can be for my own benefit. I could journal about it. But if you're still listening to this and maybe you've liked one of my Instagram posts over the years, you've sent me a lovely message, a testimonial, you've bought one of my courses or worked with me through one of my services, I just want to say a huge thank you. It means everything to me, and it is the best feeling in the world to know that you're helping someone with something so important and special as their health. And then to know that it has a ripple effect on their lives, because if one person starts showing up differently within their marriage, their home life, their work, their confidence, because they're feeling better and their mindset's better, the benefits just keep spreading. So I want to send you lots of love today. I know it's a short episode, but I just wanted to put one out there, and I hope you have an amazing day, whatever you're up to.
I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, I would love for you to leave me a rating and review on your podcast app, as this helps to support the show and it allows it to reach more people with this valuable information. Come and say hi over on Instagram. I'm at Viva Natural Health. And if you haven't already, check out my website, vivanaturalhealth.co.uk, for tons more free resources and to discover how I could support you further. I currently offer one-on-one consultation packages if you want my top level support, then more affordable group programs and self-paced online courses. So there really is something for everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you back here next week for another episode.